The world often encourages us to see life in absolutes, black or white, right or wrong, success or failure, hero or villain. From an early age, we are taught to categorize people, decisions and experiences into neat and simple definitions. Yet, as we grow older, we begin to realize that reality is far more complex than the labels we place upon it. Life does not exist in black and white. It exists in shades of gray, between certainty and doubt, between courage and fear, between love and loss. There are countless emotions and experiences that cannot be easily defined. These are the spaces where the most important moments of our lives unfold. They are the places where character is tested, where wisdom is gained, and where the truth about who we are is revealed. The 50th Shade of Grey is a journey into those hidden spaces. It is not merely a story about choices, it is a story about understanding the reasons behind those choices. It is not simply about confronting the world around us, it is about confronting the world within us. It explores the silent battles that every individual fights, the battle between dreams and reality, hope and disappointment, confidence and insecurity. Every person carries invisible scars, unspoken fears, and untold stories. Behind every smile may exist a struggle. Behind every success may lie years of sacrifice. Behind every mistake may be a lesson waiting to be discovered. Yet we rarely pause long enough to understand these complexities. Instead, we judge, we assume, we simplify, and in doing so, we often miss the deeper truths hidden beneath the surface. This book challenges that perspective. It invites readers to step beyond simple answers and explore the rich, complicated landscape of human nature. It encourages us to question our assumptions, confront our fears, and embrace the imperfections that make us human. Because true growth begins the moment we stop pretending to be perfect. True wisdom begins when we accept that uncertainty is a part of life. And true freedom begins when we learn to embrace every shade of who we are. As you turn these pages, you will encounter stories of courage and vulnerability, strength and weakness, light and darkness. More importantly, you may discover reflections of your own journey hidden within them. This is not just a book, it is a mirror that reflects the truths we often avoid, the questions we rarely ask, and the answers we have been searching for all along. Welcome to the 50th Shade of Grey, a journey into the depths of the human soul, where every shade has a story, and every story reveals a deeper truth. Arav had always believed that life was simple. What was good, and what was bad was bad. But that belief began to crumble when he realized that even the most honest-looking people could lie, and even the toughest individuals could be incredibly sensitive beneath the surface. He came to understand that people are rarely what they appear to be. Behind every smile there may be hidden pain. Behind every success there may be years of struggle. And behind every failure there may be an unfinished story waiting to be told. Gradually, Arav began to realize that the greatest illusion in life is clarity. Reality is often concealed behind a veil of uncertainty. What we see is merely the surface. Beneath it, something far deeper is taking place. As he started reflecting on his past, he discovered that many of his decisions had been driven by fear. Even though he had always mistaken them for courage, many of his relationships were not built on love, but on the fear of being alone. That night, for the first time in his life, he asked himself a question: do I truly know who I am? That single question changed the direction of his life. No longer was his challenge simply to understand the world around him. Now he had to understand himself. Every human being keeps a hidden place within themselves, a place where they allow no one to enter. It is where their fears reside, their insecurities, their unfulfilled desires, and the secrets they often try to hide even from themselves. Arav's journey was now leading him toward that very darkness. At first, he believed he was strong, but as he ventured deeper into his inner world, he realized that he had suppressed many emotions for years. He longed for success, yet he was deeply afraid of failure. He desired love, yet he kept people at a distance because of his fear of rejection. He sought freedom, yet he had become a prisoner of his own habits. It was at that moment that he understood a profound truth. A person's greatest enemy is not an external force, but their own uncontrolled mind. However, Instead of running away from the darkness, he chose to confront it. Each day, he acknowledged his fears, accepted them, and continued moving forward despite them. Gradually, he began to realize that the darkness was not his enemy. It was merely a teacher, guiding him toward the discovery of his true strength. And within that darkness, he found the greatest truth of his life. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the willingness to move forward despite it. After a long journey, Arav reached a point where all of his questions stood before him in a completely new form. He was no longer searching for perfection. Now, he simply wanted to accept himself. He had come to understand that a human being is neither entirely light nor entirely darkness. We are a blend of both. Our strengths and weaknesses, our successes and failures, our virtues and flaws, all of these come together to shape who we truly are. This was the 50th shade of grey. It was the shade where decisions were no longer driven by the expectations of others, but by self-awareness. It was the shade where a person stopped fighting their past and began learning from it. It was the shade where acceptance replaced guilt and confidence replaced fear. Arav looked up at the sky. The sun was setting. There was neither complete light nor complete darkness in the heavens above, only a breathtaking expanse of grey stretching across the horizon. He smiled, because he finally understood that the beauty of life is not found in a single color, but in all the shades in between, the ones we often overlook. And perhaps, in that very moment, he discovered the 50th shade within himself. Final conclusion. The 50th shade of grey. When we begin this journey, we often believe that all the answers to life exist somewhere outside of us. We search for meaning in success, seek our identity in relationships, and measure our worth through the approval of others. But as we move forward, we gradually realize that the most important journey is not the one that takes place in the outside world. It is the one that takes place within. The 50th shade of grey teaches us that life cannot be understood through only two colors. Every human being carries countless stories, emotions, struggles, and secrets within them. We all live with our own shades of grey, some that the world can see, and others that only we truly know. Many times we feel ashamed of our mistakes. We try to run away from our past. We hide our weaknesses and pretend to be stronger than we really are. But the truth is that our weaknesses are what make us stronger, our failures are what make us wiser, and our struggles are what shape us into the people we are today. The greatest act of courage in life is not conquering others, it is accepting yourself. When we embrace the darkness within us, we begin to understand the true power of our light. When we accept our imperfections, we experience genuine freedom. And when we recognize every shade of who we are, we no longer need to wear a mask. This is the ultimate message of the 50th shade of grey. You do not need to be perfect. You do not need to become someone else. You only need to understand and accept yourself. Because the most beautiful version of life reveals itself when we learn to live with all of our colors, not just the ones we choose to show. So the next time life brings you to a difficult crossroads, when the line between right and wrong seems blurred, remember this. Not every answer is found in black or white. Some of the most important answers are hidden within the shades of grey, and perhaps the most important shade of your life is still waiting to be discovered within you. Thank you.